Building a modern waste management system, reclamation of inactive landfill sites, and removing asbestos in the communes belonging to the Association of Communes of Lubartów sub-region.
Environmental conservation has always been an issue raised by a number of people, especially politicians. However, only the changes of the political system made it become less of a slogan and more of an activity. One of the main elements of environmental conservation is appropriate waste management.
Początek XXI wieku.
As far as waste management is concerned, the beginning of the 21st century was less than satisfactory. The former mentality and the lack of any rules or control has led to the poor condition of the environment of the region.
With Poland joining the European Union, the authorities were obliged to adjust environmental regulations to the European Union. At the same time, Polish people living in Western Europe could observe the trends and directions concerning waste management there. It was an impulse to start organizational changes in waste management and change people's approach to the issue. The development of self-government administration encourages these changes as well.
Trzeba było coś z tym zrobić. My wiedzieliśmy, co trzeba zrobić.
Something had to be done about it. We knew what to do and how to do it. What we needed was a concentration of energy and resources, and that's the reason why the Association of Communes of Lubartów sub-region was set up in 2004. We identified our goals, which were the following: creating a system of communal waste management, building a waste management plant, and promoting ecological education. And this is how the activities aimed at improving the environment in the region and the quality of life of the people living there started. It was a genuine example of local authorities' cooperation in a most demanding field of activity.
The Association of Communes of Lubartów sub-region started creating a system of communal waste management and its main element, building a waste management plant. At the time, new possibilities of funding similar activities and investments were created, including national and European resources, as well as resources coming from outside the European Union, such as the Norwegian and Swiss funds.
The long process of looking for the right location for the waste management plant, hundreds of formal meetings, as well as some informal ones with the inhabitants of Lubartów, were not the only tasks of the association's employees. We were determined from the very beginning that the plant should definitely be built and that it would be us who would do it. We provided the inhabitants of the association with ecological education, with a view to preparing them to live in the new reality. In 2008, financed by the budget unit created by the association, we started collecting communal waste from the inhabitants of the member communes, and we continued doing so until the implementation of the Act on Maintaining Order and Cleanliness in Communes, i.e. until mid-2013.
While creating a base for the waste management system, the members of the association's bodies and their employees faced two major problems: where to build the waste management plant and how to obtain the necessary funds for its construction. The location was an issue battled over in many communes of the association until it reached the town of Lubartów. A stretch of land which met the requirements of the local waste management plan was found on the outskirts, allowing the town to locate the investment there.
Kiedy w 2008 roku miasto Lubartów przekazało...
In 2008, when the town of Lubartów gave us the land on which to build the plant, it seemed that the only unknown was where the money to build it would come from. However, we couldn't have been more wrong. Despite obtaining a valid building permit, in accordance with the will of the inhabitants as expressed in a survey, the local authorities gave up the idea of building the plant where it had previously been decided, which was in Strefowa Street. It wasn't a Swiss-like referendum, but rather an expression of the inhabitants' will, stated in more than 12,000 surveys.
After long negotiations, it was decided that the waste management plant would be built in Wólka Rokicka in the Lubartów municipality. The ground located near a landfill site allowed us to use comprehensive solutions concerning waste management.
Wracając jednak do pieniędzy, szukaliśmy wsparcia, gdzie tylko się
Coming back to the issue of money, we looked for support wherever possible. Our application to the Lubelski Regional Operational Program received a favorable opinion and resulted in financial support which amounted to 53% of the costs. At the same time, we started applying for funds from the Swiss-Polish Contribution Program. This attempt led to success. The Swiss program not only proved more beneficial when it came to money, but also the donors turned out to be very understanding about our problems with the location of the plant and accepted the new site in Wólka Rokicka. The contract was signed between the association and the authority which adopts European programs regarding the implementation of the project entitled Building a Modern Waste Management System, Reclamation of Inactive Landfill Sites and Removing Asbestos in the Communes belonging to the Association of Communes of Lubartów Subregion. This became the grand beginning of the implementation of one of the biggest programs in the Lubartów district and the biggest in the field of natural environment.
The Swiss-Polish Contribution Program is definitely the most significant contribution programs out of the 13 programs directed at the new European Union members. The total amount of money reaches 489 million Swiss francs, which today amounts to almost 2 billion Polish zlotys.
The Swiss-Polish cooperation program is part of a larger program, the so-called enlargement contribution. The starting point of the enlargement contribution was Switzerland's solidarity with the states that joined the European Union in 2004 and later. The goals of the enlargement contributions were twofold. On the one side, to overcome socioeconomic disparities between older and newer member states of the European Union, and on the other side, to reduce disparities within the new EU member states. This is why the Swiss-Polish cooperation program put a focus on the economically less developed regions of Poland. The enlargement contribution also contributes to strengthen ties between Switzerland and the European Union as a whole, and also to strengthen bilateral ties with the new EU member states, including Poland.
The cooperation between the association and all the institutions involved in implementing the project, that is, the Center of Projects Polska Cyfrowa, the Ministry for Development, the Office of the Swiss-Polish Contribution Program, and the bodies issuing decisions and permits, such as the Lubartów Municipality, the District Governor's Office, the Marshal's Office, and the Regional Directorate for Environmental Protection, made it possible for us to implement all the tasks under the project.
Centrum Projektów Polska Cyfrowa jest instytucją pośredniczącą, w związku z czym jesteśmy tym pierwszym.
The Center of Projects Polska Cyfrowa is an intermediary institution and thus the first body where the project implementing institution is directed. While implementing a project, we try to support all the institutions in case of any potential problems, which occur in most of the projects but which are dealt with in an effective way. At the same time, we are an intermediary between the National Coordination Unit, i.e. the Ministry for Development, and the higher body, the donor at the Office of the Swiss-Polish Contribution Program at the Swiss Embassy in Poland.
We can say that the cooperation between the Association of Communes and the intermediary institution went smoothly. Despite all the problems and postponements within the project, the association's activities were well understood.
Zarządowi Gmin Ziemi Lubartowskiej udało się w doskonały sposób.
The board of the Association of Communes of Lubartów Subregion managed to reach an agreement with the town's inhabitants, and despite the problems connected with the location of the plant, they succeeded in building the plant really quickly.
mega szybkim czasie.
The cornerstone was laid at the beginning of the year, and in the autumn the plant started working. It is a structure that makes a huge impression. I had the pleasure of participating in its grand opening ceremony, and I believe it will continue to grow for many years to come.
The waste management plant in Wólka Rokicka is the main aspect of the enterprise carried out in Lubartów, which is connected with a few other tasks.
Projekt to nie tylko budowa zakładu zagospodarowania odpadów.
The project is not only the building of the waste management plant, it is also the reclamation of 4 inactive landfill sites whose operation has come to an end. Moreover, it is the removal of asbestos from roofing. In total, 3,602 tons of asbestos were disposed of. The program supported the poorest inhabitants by providing them with sheet metal to cover their roofs with, after removing the asbestos roofing. However, the most crucial part of the project was the waste management plant. The cost of the investment amounts to 50 million zlotys, and it consists of an anaerobic digestion installation, a sorting line with the capacity of 37,000 tons of unsorted communal waste per year, and a bulk waste disassembly point. A vital element of the plant is producing electricity using the biogas obtained in the anaerobic digestion process.
The total cost of all the tasks implemented within the project is 55,400,000 zlotys, including the funds from the Swiss-Polish contribution program and the association's own contribution. The main tasks that have been implemented are the following: building the waste management plant, which cost 48,787,000 zlotys. The reclamation of landfill sites and building selective waste collection points, which cost 3,800,000 zlotys. Asbestos removal and disposal for 2,400,000 zlotys. Project management and promotional activities amounting to 413,000 zlotys. The co-funding by the Swiss-Polish contribution program covered 71.02% of the cost of the construction of the waste management plant and 85% of the other tasks within the project. It needs to be mentioned that what mattered greatly while financing the project were the changing regulations of the value-added tax and the Swiss franc exchange rate. Partly due to these two facts, the Swiss contribution is definitely the largest flow of external financial contribution aimed at improving the condition of the natural environment and waste management in the Lubartów district.
Yes, the Swiss-Polish cooperation program supported 3 projects in the area of waste management, including the project in the region of Lubartów. And there were quite good reasons to support the project in Lubartów. First of all, the project emanates from an early initiative and vision of the local self-governments of the region, a vision aimed at developing a modern waste management system under the leadership of the municipalities of the region. The second important objective of the project was to improve life quality of the inhabitants of the region, and this was done by eliminating a very hazardous substance from their households, asbestos. Moreover, the projects contributed to eliminating air and odor emissions by reclaiming waste landfills which were in poor conditions before the project and are now safe. Another important advantage of the project is that thanks to the new waste facility plant in Lubartów, now the waste can be processed in a very efficient way and recycled. This will contribute to improving the environmental conditions in the region. And last but not least, the project put a focus on informational and promotional activities. Thanks to these activities, now the population of the region is well aware of the importance of behaving in an ecologically sound way, and this will contribute to a better ecological conditions in the region also in the long run.
Apart from the financial contribution of the member communes in the project, that is, the Lubartów Municipality, Lubartów Commune, Ostrówek Commune, Ostrów Lubelski Municipality, Ostrów Lubelski Commune, and Serniki Commune, the contribution by the city of Lublin and Świdnik is worth mentioning. These two local governments provided the waste management plant with a full stream of waste, which enables its proper functioning.
This is how the whole system of communal waste management was created, starting with the waste producer, i.e. the inhabitant, through waste collection, followed by sorting, treatment and recovery in the form of raw materials, refuse-derived fuel, and finally electricity, which comes back to the inhabitant, i.e. the waste producer.
Financial resources from the Swiss fund have enabled us to perform the tasks that otherwise would have to be paid for by the member communes. This support has contributed greatly to the improvement of the member communes' financial capacity, as a result of which their own resources have been allocated to other, equally important communal goals. Today we are approaching the level of the most developed countries of Western Europe in the field of communal waste management, mainly thanks to Switzerland and all the people and institutions supporting the project.
Chciałabym jeszcze raz serdecznie pogratulować całemu
One more time, I would like to congratulate the whole team of the Association of Communes of Lubartów Subregion and thank them for their commitment. The project is now the highlight of Lubartów, and for many years to come, it will be pointed to as an example of an undertaking carried out quickly and smoothly, as well as being for the benefit of the inhabitants.
Implementing a project funded by the Swiss-Polish Contribution Program is a joint venture of a number of people who put a lot of effort in completing it. During this time, the board of the association organized over 80 meetings, while the association assembly over 30. All this time, the association's employees and experts worked really hard for the project to succeed.
Wbrew sceptykom i niedowiarkom, wszystkie zadania
Against all the skeptics and disbelievers, all the project tasks have been completed. Today, we wish to express our gratitude to the donors and coordinators for accepting and implementing the particular tasks, without whom we wouldn't have made it to the end. We would like to thank everyone who contributed to our success in any way. Here, I would like to make special mention of those who forced us to make a great effort and to be cautious and creative so as to overcome all the obstacles in our way. It was the best lesson ever and an invaluable experience for the future.
The Swiss-Polish Contribution Program has become a regional trademark of Lubartów, with its newly roofed buildings replacing those containing asbestos, the reclaimed landfill sites, and, above all, the dynamically operating waste management plant in Wólka Rokicka. All the above-mentioned elements are examples of a positive influence of the Swiss Confederation on the environmental conservation of Lubartów subregion, as well as Poland and the whole Europe.
A sincere thank you to His Excellency Andrzej Motyl, the Ambassador of the Swiss Confederation, for financing our project. Many thanks to the employees of the Swiss-Polish Contribution Program Office for their support and careful evaluation of every step taken while implementing the project. Mr. Guido Beltrani, the head of the Swiss-Polish Contribution Program Office. Mr. Heinzowi Kaufmann, Dominikowi Haver, Rolandowi Piton, the former heads of the office. The National Programme Officer at the Swiss Contribution Office, Mr. Krzysztof Kaczmarek. A big thank you to the employees at the Ministry for Development for their assistance and support. Ms. Aleksandra Guzowska, the head of the Foreign Aid Implementation Department. Mrs. Marzena Wieczorek, Project Supervisor. Sincere thanks and appreciation to the employees at the Centre of Projects Polska Cyfrowa for their cooperation while coordinating the project at its every stage and in every possible aspect. Mrs. Ewa Wnukowska, the head of European Projects Department. Ms. Katarzyna Suda-Puchacz, the head of the Swiss-Polish Contribution Programme Department, Ms. Joanna Perkowska, Mr. Jakub Karch, project supervisors. Implementing our project would not have been possible without the cooperation and support from the local government's administration. The Association of Communes of Lubartów sub-region wishes to thank the following people: Mr. Sławomir Sosnowski, the Marshal of Lublin Voivodeship; Mr. Przemysław Czarnek, the Voivode of the Lublin Province; Mr. Frederick Puła, the District Governor of Lubartów; Mr. Janusz Bociacki, the Mayor of Lubartów; Mr. Krzysztof Kopiszcz, the head of Lubartów Municipality; Mr. Józef Gruszczyk, the Mayor of Ostrów Lubelski; Mr. Thomas Pieczak, the head of Ostrówek Commune; Mr. Stanisław Marżonda, the head of Cerniki Commune.